Could a permanent ceasefire for the war in Ukraine be on the horizon? That's what many are wondering tonight after the U.S. president set up talks between Russia and Ukraine. CTV's Karamali takes us through the high-stakes phone call between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin.
A 2-hour phone call today between the U.S. and Russian presidents to try and put an end to one of the bloodiest chapters of the war in Ukraine.
And I think some progress has been made. It's a terrible situation going on over there. We're trying to get that whole thing wrapped up.
According to U.S. President Donald Trump, Russia and Ukraine will now immediately start negotiations towards a ceasefire and ultimately an end to the war. Sharing details on a social media post, Trump said the conditions of a ceasefire would be negotiated between the two parties and that the tone and spirit of his phone conversation were excellent. After the war is over, Russia wants to do large-scale trade with the United States. Trump saying it's an opportunity to create massive amounts of jobs and wealth, and that Ukraine can also be a great beneficiary of trade.
The president has made it clear his goal is to see a ceasefire and to see this conflict come to an end. And he's grown weary and frustrated with both sides of the conflict.
With the Trump administration reaching its last straw.
We're going to try to end it, but if we can't end it, we're eventually going to say, you know what, that was worth a try, but we're not doing it anymore.
Trump said he informed several world leaders today of what was discussed, including Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky, who says he's open to a meeting with Russia, but urged the U.S. not to remove itself from the discussions. While Russian President Vladimir Putin said the call with Trump was informative and frank, adding both parties need to find compromises.
President Putin as well has called for ceasefires, but again, at every turn, he has broken each one of those ceasefires.
There's no timeline on when these negotiations could begin, but as to where, Trump says Pope Leo XIV has offered to host talks at the Vatican. Heather.
All right, thank you, Kamil. CTV's Karamali.